should someone approach, like cold emailing more works or cold DMs more work? Or what do you think what works in 2025?
I would suggest to go crazy with lead magnets because that literally works overnight, and it's not the same with outreach. Like sometimes content can actually give you better results than outreach because content you need to go viral, right? You can go viral overnight, but that doesn't really happen with outreach.
Someone is beginner, how they can approach lead gen?
So yeah, first step is pick an industry. Make sure you are offering to a very niche service, right? So you don't have to really think like maybe I'll be good here, maybe I'll be bad here. You don't have to think about that. You just think, okay, this is something I feel I can do it. Just pick. The second step I would suggest is your offer, because offer is is gonna make or break. Then the third step I would suggest is to go for big players. I know a lot of people will tell you that first understand if this thing is working or not from the small player. I would say go for the big fish. Okay, just figure out who is the best in the market that you can go for. Make 100 list or like a 500 list of that. Start cold DMing them every single day till you get a no as an answer.
So, what are the top three things like he should keep in mind while writing cold DM or a cold email?
So the very first thing is to
So, hello everyone. Today we have someone who is lead gen expert, founder of Acquisition X, and content creator with 200K plus followers. Right, and I'm following her for so long, like I would say around 3 4 months. Right, and like I have a community of 100 plus LinkedIn members. So I used to talk about your strategies, not not specifically strategies, but the things you share on Insta. So some of them, right? So it's an honor to host you on my podcast, and thank you so much for coming here, Suprava. Thank you.
Hey Surya, first of all, I'm really, really honored to be here and really excited for this podcast.
Let's start then. So I saw that you started your journey from copywriting. You have done content writing and a bunch of things, right? So tell me a bit about what you have gone through, like the pathway you have gone through and building your company, like your agency Acquisition X. So how was it been?
Right. So I'll just give you a quick background check on how I got
Yeah.
started. So I was in college basically, and I thought like, what am I doing with my life? And I was just not making sense in college life, right? Because I didn't really relate to anyone, and I was like, okay, I need to do something of my own, and that's how I came across. I think that time it was, the freelancing and all these new concepts were very, very new in India. And I thought, okay, let me just try with this. So yeah, I started reaching out to people, whoever is looking for like a, content writer, copywriter on LinkedIn. And that's how I landed like a few clients. I started working with them, and yeah, from there I got started. Then COVID came. Basically, my most of my college life was COVID. So so yeah, like that time I got a lot of time. So I was doing all these crazy internships. There was a time where I was doing, I think, around 20 or 30 internship at like one single time, right? Some of them were paid, some of them not paid, and I was just literally applying everywhere I could, right? Because I was just sitting. I remember I used to sit late night. I would just apply. I would see on Internsala like all the job listings that I feel I could do. I just used to hit. I mean, of course, like all of them I couldn't complete. Most of them were not very happy with the results I got. I got them, but yeah, it did give me like a lot of exposure. I understood a lot of client facing roles and some of the things. After that, once my college was about to over, I got bored because like how it is, like you cannot really stay at home with your parents and do everything, right? So I
True.
was like, okay, uh, Bangalore is literally the best city whenever it comes to startup growth and these kind of things. So I started looking for jobs in Bangalore, and I didn't get any job, but I got an internship at a startup, right? So I joined that. There I was literally managing everything whenever it comes to marketing campaigns, and I was coming out of with this idea. So whatever I'm doing right now, I actually learned from that one startup, right? So Harsha was one of the he was the CEO, and he actually helped us a lot, is what I would say. So yeah, from there I got started. Then that also I quit. Then I started doing my own thing, and yeah, like that's how I got started.
Amazing. Like this is actual the path, right? Because if someone is confused, right? Like if someone comes to me and he's confused, I just told him go and join a startup, right? Because
Exactly.
yeah, tell me the benefits of joining a startup because you have joined a startup. So tell me about bit more about it.
Right. So whenever you're at a startup, first of all, a startup will not only provide you with one type of position or one type of role, right? Even if you are like a marketing strategist there, you will be able to do a lot of other work, right? But
Yeah,
that doesn't happen in corporate. And even if you want to change a role, you'll have to go through like a huge long process and, approvals from managers from here and there. That's just, not the case with the startup. And the best part is, again, what I feel is the kind of people you meet there, right? Because most of them are very growth mindset oriented, and you basically learn from them as well, right? Because when I was at that startup, all the people we used to, that were working there were super smart. Like few of them were even from Google. They quit their job, they joined this. So yeah, like it was very fast pacing, and something I learned is, to not put all your eggs in like one basket, right? Go super crazy and like learn. So yeah, that is like one of the most important benefit of joining a startup. And I also feel in terms of salaries, sometimes startup would offer you much more than, a corporate would in that same position.
amazing. Because you know what, I have many friends who are in Bangalore, and I just don't know. Like after 3 months, 6 months, when I interact with them, what crazy change, right? So I just I just ask
You're right.
them, yeah, I just ask them what is happening in Bangalore, the air, what's changed, right? And they joined the startup, and they're like they are from like zero to like crazy growth. So I see a lot of people going to Bangalore and the change happen. Amazing. If someone is a beginner, right, a freelancer or maybe an agency owner just started, right, they have a one common problem that is lead gen, right? So tell me, like as you're an expert, tell me about if someone is beginner, how they can approach lead gen. I want to break down it in very simple manner, right? Like even if someone is a very beginner or if someone just started their agency, they understand what is lead gen, how to approach them. So tell me in that manner.
Right. So if someone is just getting started, one of the things, I see people very common, advice is that you work for free, you learn things, this and that. I wouldn't suggest that. So what I will suggest is, first of all, make sure you are offering to a very niche service, right? So you don't have to really think like maybe I'll be good here, maybe I'll be bad here. You don't have to think about that. You just think, okay, this is something I feel, I can do it. Just pick, let's say, for example, if you are like a video editor, right? Go specifically for SaaS founders or go specifically for, real estate industry. Because that way, what would happen is you become the expert in that one industry, and, you don't have to do like a lot of things here and there, right? So I would suggest just pick one industry. Even if you feel like you are not best at this industry, you can always change, right? So yeah, first step is pick an industry. The second step I would suggest is your offer, because offer is gonna make or break. I see a lot of people, even I get a lot of outreach like this, like I can help you book this amount of calls in this amount of days. If I don't, you don't pay me, or I understand. This used to work in 2022 or 2023 when Alex Hormozy first released his book 100 million offer, or 100 million. His another book. So yeah, I would suggest like to not do this, because instantly it gives you that, it makes you feel like a beginner. The first step for a beginner to understand that you are not a, beginner. Okay, like you need to have this mindset that even if I'm getting a project, I should be able to finish it, right? Because most beginners are very unsure. Maybe I can do it, maybe I cannot do it. And that's what, confidence is something I feel they lack. So yeah, the second step is the offer. Like make sure you create an offer that looks normal. Like it shouldn't look very extraordinary. Like, oh, don't pay me, or I'll work for you for free. I can add 30K MRR in the next 60 days. Like it feels very fake, honestly, right? So then the third step I would suggest is to go for big players. I know a lot of people will tell you that first understand if this thing is working or not from the small player. I would say go for the big fish. Okay, just figure out who is the best in the market that you can, go for. Make 100 list or like a 500 list of that. Start cold DMing them every single day till you get a no as an answer. Okay, because most of the time people make this one mistake. They go for, someone that is not very relevant in that industry, right? Because see, if you are getting the first few players, you are already at the top. You can just use that name in the case study and you can reach out to them, and you know you will get a reply. So yeah, this is something I would suggest for anyone who is starting out. Doesn't matter even if you don't know the service, because you can always hire people, right? So if you are a little smart, if you just need like very important thing, that is sales. If you know sales, if you know how to talk to people, you can easily, start with this, and yeah, leads, and then again won't be an issue there.
So let's talk about more about outbound, right? Because if someone is beginner, I think they have only best option is outbound, right? And most people struggle with. So let's suppose if someone is just starting, like how should someone approach? Like does cold emailing more works or cold DMs more work? Or what do you think? What works in 2025?
Right. So if someone is just getting started, it totally depends on what are the, where they are focusing more on. Like if they feel like they have an audience on LinkedIn or on Twitter, I would suggest to go crazy with lead magnets, because that literally works overnight. And, it's not the same with outreach. Like sometimes content can actually give you better results than outreach, because content you need to go viral, right? You can go viral overnight, but that doesn't really happen with outreach. So, and also another thing with cold emailing, it's much more technical these days, right? So, if someone is just starting out, what I would suggest them is, first of all, create 10 Gmail accounts. You can buy some, phone number over the internet, to get the, what do you call it, SMS, so that you don't get tracked. Another thing that I would suggest is make sure to use a VPN whenever you are doing these kind of activities, right? So Gmail accounts are sorted. It will not cost them a lot, maybe few couple of bucks. Apart from this, I would suggest to go crazy with lead magnets, because that is gonna give them, like, I have created a lot of documentation, a lot of videos on this. If anyone wanna check them out, go ahead and do that.
Interesting. Interesting. Just, recently I just maybe just refreshing your content, like researching, and you just recently posted about uh, like yesterday or day before yesterday about that you don't find any good cold email on internet, like a good video on cold email on YouTube or any platform. Right? So
Yeah.
tell me if someone is writing a cold DM or a cold email, whatever, right? So what are the top three things like he should keep in mind while writing?
Right. So the very first thing is to not just pitch them directly, like we have done this or that. What they need to do is, first thing, they need to ask a question. Like for example, let's say if someone is reaching out, they can say, "Hey, I noticed that a lot of people are, getting their accounts banned on LinkedIn. Is this an issue for you guys?" Or it could be if someone is into website and stuff like that. I recently noticed that this industry, like, whatever industry they're prospecting, like your industry is going really down in terms of website visitor traffic. Do you think this is the issue? Because what it will happen is it will trigger their mindset to always reply, because whenever it's something negative and someone is asking a question, people are usually gonna reply to that. So this is something I would suggest in the first, like cold email. The second cold email, what you can do is, like, depending on their answer, you can tell them like, we have helped this amount of clients, or you can mention some of the client name in the past. and we can help you out do the same as well. And the best part about us, you can mention a few of the things. So yeah, this is like one of the workflow I would suggest whenever it comes to cold emailing, or even cold DMs.
How much percentage of open rate is good, considered to be good?
Right. First of all, depends, like if you're using Gmail, um, Gmail accounts, I think it's good amount. I would say 50% or 30 or 40% is a good number, is what I would say. But whenever it comes to, first I wouldn't suggest tracking your open rate if you're using Smart Lead or doing like mass cold outreach. Open tracking rate actually will make you land in spam. So yeah, like, but again, if you are still tracking it, I would suggest maybe like a 30 or 20% is a good number.
Interesting. Okay, do you
Yeah,
think that mass emailing like works? Like it works, but do you think it works for beginners, or personalized emailing works for beginners, or personalized DM, whatever?
right. So it totally depends. Like let's say which stage, like beginner is a lot, like for beginners also a lot of stages are there, right? So let's
Yeah,
say if someone is an entire beginner or just getting started, for them, I would suggest go for personalized approach because you put a lot of energy there, and yeah, you do get some response. And that's gonna work. But let's say if you're a beginner, you are making decent money, let's say about $2,000, $3,000 per month, right? I would suggest go crazy with, mass cold emailing, because cold emails are all about volume. I mean, if one person is gonna criticize, one person is gonna, say yes. It's all about how many people you can reach out to. It's the, same concept as ads. So yeah.
cool. Tell me, like, when did you find your ICPs? Like, what are the two, three things you see when you are researching, right? That, okay, this person can be in my ICP list or can be my client, right? Or maybe you can say qualified lead. So, what are the two, three things you see when you make your qualified list, lead list?
Right. So for my ICP, I didn't really research, I didn't do anything. So I'll tell you what I did. I was just randomly reaching out to everyone that I could at that time. And that time, honestly, the competition was not much. When, like, I think I'm talking about 2023, there was not a lot of competition back then. So yeah, I was just reaching out to a lot of people, whoever I can convert. So I was specifically in the beginning, I was targeting sales coaches because I wanted to learn sales, because I figured, like, that's one of the things you cannot really learn in books. You need to learn from, someone.
Yeah,
So yeah, like coaches, I since I was working with them, I used to ask them for some tips, tricks here and there. I used to offer them something for free. Like I was offering them one of the service for free, even though they were paying me about $1,000 per month. A few of the freebies I just added so that I can, if I ask them some questions about sales, they would be happy to answer that. So yeah, that's how I started doing. Then I got a inbound client that was a SaaS founder of a very nice company. We worked with them, and the results were very, very insane, right? So I realized is that maybe this is something I should focus more on, and then I started focusing more on SaaS. So yeah, that's how I figured.
why a lot of people like in agency are working towards more towards a SaaS founder? Do you think anything?
I think a lot of people do target SaaS founders.
Okay. I
Very
recently
few.
talking with one more agency owner, right? And she's also catering towards SaaS founder. So I
uh,
just,
Because I'll tell you, whenever it comes to our niche, right? So we work with SaaS founders that are only focusing on sales and marketing. And you would think most of the companies that are there in sales and marketing have been our client now, right? So we are trying to completely acquire and capture that market at the moment. And in my experience, what I've seen, even though someone is going for SaaS, I'm not sure actually, on the industry on how many people are actually going.
yeah.
In my
So,
experience, I think there's still not a lot of competition here,
hmm,
is what I would say.
interesting. Interesting. So I'll ask you one hard question. Let's say you lost everything now. Right. I'm not saying
So I think
intentionally.
so it's fine.
Yeah. So let's say you lost everything now and you just have to start from scratch. All right. So what skills you learn, first thing? How would you approach, second thing? And how do you scale up to, let's say $5,000 monthly or $10,000 monthly? So three questions. If someone who is a beginner wants to scale, so tell me from your journey.
Got it. So when you say lost everything, does it also mean losing my skills that I currently have, or like
Yeah, yeah.
completely quitting everything?
Yeah, you'll
Okay,
lose your skills also. You just have to learn your skill. First question is yeah.
got it,
In
got it.
2025, from this time perspective.
Got it. So in that case, there's chat GPT is what I would say, right? A lot of AI tools are there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna divert my focus on spending too much on AI tools, time and energy learning, because I know a lot of people are doing workshops, teaching things, a lot of YouTube videos, content, stuff around that, right, on AI. So I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna pick maybe two or three AI tools that I think would be the best for me to get started. Then I'm gonna, whenever it comes to offer creation, I'm not gonna focus too much on this. What I'm gonna do is I'll just research maybe on Perplexity or something, whatever that is growing really, really fast, like which industry in which basically you can say niche that is booming right now. Okay, and that specific industry, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick something that is, let's say for example, in SaaS also, right? There are a lot of variants. Like there's not only sales and marketing, there's like a lot of things like B2C SaaS, e-commerce SaaS, a lot of things are there. Then I'm going to pick something that is not booming right now, okay, where the competition is super, super less. And that's exactly how I'm going to, reach out, make a list of maybe 100 people in that niche that I think could be the best fit for me. I'm going to reach out to them over just simply using LinkedIn account and Gmail account. Um, and yeah, that's exactly how I'm gonna first start. Once I acquire, let's say maybe one or two client, then I'm gonna reinvest that money into doing like massive cold outreach, because that's something I feel one should do. And yeah, for that I'll be using Smartly and lead scraping, these kind of things also I'm going to invest. Like let's say if I'm making about $2,000, maybe I think $1,500 I'm going to invest in outreach, or in something where I don't keep that money to myself. That's
Great.
something I, yeah,
Iris.
yeah,
Cool.
because that's something I actually did also with the agency, and yeah, that worked.
So I tell you what I've done mistakes from around 8 months ago. Right. So I just onboarded a client like VC. Uh, and what I did, so it was for podcast marketing, right? And she was paying me crazy. Like for one short video, like 30, 40 seconds, she paid me like 10,000. And it's very good, right? So what I did, I just kept like outsourced it, right? The video, and I just kept the profit. And after two, three videos, he just stopped working with me, right?
Yeah,
So the
that's what
thing
happened.
is, yeah,
Quality
so
optimization.
tell me, a lot of people do this mistake, right? They outsource the things, right? So what mistakes do you think they are doing, right? One mistake which I just told you, right? Which everyone should avoid. Tell me about from your experience.
Outsourcing, so for first of all, I would not, like, totally depends on outsource also, like if you are going for the right direction, like the person that you're trying to outsource, do they have good case studies? Do they have experience in that? So yeah, like totally depends. I wouldn't suggest keeping that profit to yourself.
Yeah,
First of all, one thing I would suggest to anyone who is going for the agency business, if you're someone who, your family depends on you, or let's say or let's say, you have some commitments to fulfill, don't go for the agency business. Like at least go to the agency business when you have some money in your bank account that you can later on use, because agency business, I'll be super honest, it's not a scalable thing. Okay. I mean, SaaS, yes, SaaS is very much scalable. Agency is not a super scalable model. Okay. There are a lot of variants to it, and you need to be really top in the game in order to be able to succeed. Like, I meet a lot of people that are starting out, and and I have met a lot of people who started last year that are like working at a job right now. So, yeah, I'm not saying like do not try. Of course you should try, but if you have responsibilities on your head, because that way what the situation would force you to keep that profit to yourself, because you need to understand in an agency game it's not you, it's your team, right? It's your team, it's the person you outsource, it's basically how the operation goes on. So yeah, like you need to be super like I would suggest go for a freelancing model. Is I mean that's much more better than an agency. Agency is better once you are at some point, or at least you have 4 lakh or 3 lakh in your bank account, so that if things goes off you can rely on that or something like that.
So let's say if someone can leverage, let's talk about AI agents first of all. Like if someone can leverage AI agents in their lead generation or content creation journey, how they can help it?
Okay. So, whenever it comes to AI agents, right, it depends on which stage you're in with your business. Like, I'll give you like one of the hard truth about AI agents that I don't see a lot of people talking about it. We ourselves use a lot of AI agents, and almost I would say 60 to 50% of business runs from there, right? And there were times where we lost, thousands, I'm talking like thousands of dollars overnight, because this some API credit hit limit, because that AI agent was running, someone in the team did some mishap. So you need to be at a stage where you are okay losing that amount of money also. Okay. Because AI agents, I know it sounds very fancy, I know it sounds very
Cool.
crazy. Honestly, you need to be at a point, and whenever it comes to lead generation, right? Because most of the AI agents that you see that is being built is mostly from APIs from different softwares. So you need to be very proactive there. Like you need to have a team that can handle those agents. So when we were just starting out, we didn't had much knowledge, and we were literally training our team to learn AI agents, and that's how we lost like a lot of money overnight. And we cannot really blame anyone here, right? Because it's our
Yeah.
responsibility, we have done the mistakes. So yeah, for any kind of AI agents, I would suggest like if you're someone trying to figure out on your own, if you're not technical, I mean, don't go for it. Seriously, like go for an maybe like an expert in that industry, or you feel someone, if you can hire someone, just have them do everything for you. And then once that is done, then maybe you can invest your time learning or whatever you want to do. But yeah, if you're not technical, don't go for AI agents. Like I'll tell you, like they sound fancy, but uh, they're really not. Like they can help you, yes, they can help you with a few tasks here and there, but again, like I mean, if you're just starting out, you don't need AI agents, is what I would say. Maybe if you are planning for AI agents, go for those kind of AI agents where there's no such thing as API hitting the limit, so that you don't lose a lot of money. So yeah, you need to, for that again, to figure that out also, you need to be a little technical, at least, is what I would say.
Interesting. That means there are some free AI agents, someone who wants to just try out for their content or something. Is there some free AI agents they can try just?
Content, yeah. So for content, there cannot be a free AI agent, because I'll tell you. So the AI agent is built on OpenAI credits,
Yeah.
right? For content, you need to spend money, like because you are paying to OpenAI, so you cannot really have any free AI agents for content. And I don't think anyone who is, even if people are saying that get this free content AI agents, I think what they mean is like they will not charge you. That they don't mean that this agent, you don't need to spend anything on API or anywhere else. So yeah, like there's no free content AI agent. Anything like I don't think there is. Like I'm yet to discover, but yeah, in my experience, there's not. We use content AI agents in house. Yeah, it's not free.
Cool. So look back to your journey and tell me what are the top three mistakes you have done while building your agency, while doing freelancing, or overall in your journey, right?
Got it. Top three mistake. Okay. So I would say for the agency thing, right, hiring was one of the most important thing which I felt, I was lacking. And I was just not being able to figure out if this person is the right value or not, or like you basically, like, I was just not being able to track because I didn't had any experience, because till now I was only an intern, or I have done client facing projects, that's it. I didn't know anything on hiring, right? So that was one of the major issue where we actually, spent a lot and we didn't really get anything in return. But I think that's again, that really did teach us a lot. So that was one of the major concern, I would say. Apart from that, second thing is, the deliverability part, the deliverables that client gets from us. We have made mistakes where we took clients who we thought, could be our ICP without, having a lot of knowledge on the client background. So if a client who has a very complaining tone, you need to be very, very careful with them. They
Yeah.
are going to, ruin your entire this like, business mindset. So there was very toxic client. They are actually, very huge company. I cannot really say their name, of course. So we worked with them. They would say like, you need to be on call with us at 12 a.m. Even though they knew that, we are in IST time zones. All of our client knows where we are from, how we operate, everything. They're fine with it, okay. But this one client, they had some issue. I'm not sure. And on the call, so basically, for calls, let my team handle the call, okay. The client would say, no, I need Suprava as well on the call. Like, C needs to be on each and every day on the call. So we had to drop that client. We didn't even last 1 month with them. But yeah, they were again very complaining tone. They were not really satisfied with anything. So yeah, these were like few of the mistakes is what I would say. I've done when starting
Even
out, and I think everyone will do it.